AI is taking over our lives and could be taking over our jobs. So what do we do? I have spent 20 years working in tech and AI as a CEO, board member, investor, building billion-dollar companies. These are 5 ways to future-proof your life in the age of AI. Let's begin. Number 1, the question is usually the answer. MIT researchers found that 50% of good AI results come not from better models but from asking better questions. This is true especially on complex real-world tasks. But here's the real surprise. When users let AI generate those same questions, the results actually got worse. Humans are better than AI in that one area. That's the upside of human intuition. Here's a real-world story. Reed Hastings was the CEO of Netflix, and every single data model told him not to greenlight an original series project that he loved. The algorithm analyzed countless viewing patterns and engagement metrics of existing viewers and arrived at a very clear conclusion. The show was going to flop. But Hastings sensed something the data couldn't. A cultural shift toward a darker serialized storytelling. So, he took a gamble and decided to greenlight the project. Anyway, the show was House of Cards. It became the company's first original series and his first giant runaway hit. The company completely transformed from being just a content distributor to a content creator. The market cap of Netflix was around $8 billion when the show launched. It's over $500 billion today. This is why human intuition still matters in an age of AI. AI can tell you everything it knows based on the data you feed it. But breakthrough moments come when we, the humans, sense what's changing outside of that data set and making decisions based on our intuition. Action items for us. First, when you're using AI, ask what data isn't showing yet. Find your human edge by scanning for opportunities and risks that sit outside the model's frame of reference. In other words, hone your intuition. Second, spend 80% of your thinking time on the question, not the answer. What assumptions are baked into your data? What signals might be missing? And third, get close to your market. Talk to your customers. Observe your audience. Experience what they're experiencing. Because most cultural shifts and emerging trends show up in real life long before they show up in AI models. Next is number 2. Trust is earned by humans, not AI. Mount Sinai Hospital built AI that can diagnose some lung cancers with 94% accuracy. But here's the twist. Patients still want to hear from the doctor. When the doctor explicitly says, "I looked at the data and here's what I think," that's when the trust rises. Humans still trust human experts after all. Now, let's look at the reverse. The Great Recession of 2008. All tech, all algorithms, and all data from the financial industry could not predict or stop the most severe financial collapse in the United States since the 1930s. Why? Because the crisis wasn't mathematical, it was psychological. A run on trust that brought down several global banks. Millions lost their jobs. Families lost homes. Parents lost pensions. It took years to recover. I was in New York City at that point, at the epicenter of collapse. Our global economy runs on trust. It's the inevitable architecture that holds everything up. So when trust collapses, no AI model can fix it. Humans have to be the model humans trust. So you can try these 3 things to become more trustworthy. First, do what you said you'll do. As Stephen Covey said, you can't talk your way out of something you walked your way into. Humans value humans who say what they'll do and then do what they say. Sounds so obvious, right? But maybe that's why most of us easily forget about it. Your words do matter. Be reliable and you'll be trusted. Second, promise less, deliver more. Simple, but hard to remember that when everybody is overselling. And third, apologize when you're wrong. Mistakes don't destroy trust. Denial, and defensiveness, do own your mistakes early. It restores credibility. Number 3 is next, and it's one that most people struggle with, making decisions under uncertainty. Harvard University did a 10-year study of 17,000 executives and found that top performers share one very interesting trait. They excel at decisive actions under uncertainty. When stakes are high and variables are constantly changing, that's when it matters. A U.S. bank called Silicon Valley Bank or SVB served a lot of tech companies and startups. And in 2023, SVB collapsed in real time. And in one day, $42 billion evaporated from the bank. Interest rates were high. Startups pulled their money. Algorithms did not know what to do. And neither did the regulators. But one person saw the real danger. It was Jamie Dimon. He knew that the failure of that one crucial bank could spill over quickly and hurt the entire finance industry. The clock was ticking. The problem was getting bigger by the hour. He had no time to analyze every single variable. He picked up the phone and got 11 rival banks to ingest $30 billion into SVB to stop the bleeding. It was a moment of human decisiveness when the problem itself was changing its shape. The thing about Decision M is that it requires 5 different skills simultaneously: analytical, emotional, cultural, moral, and political. And AI can address only 1 or 2 of those, at least right now. So, here are the 3 things you can try to hone your decision-making skills. First, follow the 70% rule. Make decisions when you have 70% confidence in data. Most of us wait for that 100% clarity and certainty that never comes. And that's why when we make decisions, it's already too late. There is no 100% certainty. Second, try to pick one low-stakes decision each day like work or health, creativity, and act on it without analyzing for hours. And finally, record how it turned out. Keep a decision log, write down what you knew, what you felt, and why you acted. That will help you make better decisions in the future. Decision M is like any muscle. You've got to train it. Also, check out the book by Annie Duke called Thinking in Bets. It's a great read if you want to build practical skills for real-world decision-making. Next is number 4, the importance of reflection. At Google, at any given point, 2,000 employees are on the wait list, not for stock options, for meditation training. At Goldman Sachs, coders learn AI and breath work. Why? Because when AI systems fail at 3 a.m. you're going to need people who can breathe easy under pressure. Another example, Sarah Lazar at Harvard put meditators in brain scanners and discovered something truly remarkable. After 30 days, meditators show 32% reduction in stress. AI will eventually get 100 times better at intelligence, but the subjective experiences that generate these contemplative insights will most likely remain distinctly human. We need to revive the forgotten skill of being still, of doing nothing, sometimes of being, not becoming. So when your mind is spinning around and noise feels endless, try this following framework from cognitive behavior therapy. Is called STOP. S is for slow down. Stabilize your attention. Speed is where mistakes happen. T is for take a breath. Let the system reset. A few slow breaths can change your chemistry. O, observe not outside but inside. Notice your thoughts, the tension, the urge to react. And P, proceed but mindfully. Move with intention, not impulse. Respond when you're clear, not when you trigger. All of this is easier said than done. I struggle with it all the time, but when I apply it, it always works. That brings us to the last one. Number 5, reinvention. At McKinsey & Company, there is a very real fear that AI is coming for the high-end consulting services the company provides. What used to take a team of 14 consultants now takes about 3 when they're working with AI agents. McKinsey CEO put it pretty bluntly. You're going to have to learn at a rate you and I have never seen. And this isn't an isolated event. It's the new reality in every profession for every professional. In 2023, the IBM Global Skills Report found that 85% of organizations say the most critical skill for the future is the ability to learn and adapt continuously. And it makes sense, right? We don't know what's coming our way. What was the old model of education? It was that you went to a great school or the best university you could get to, got a great degree, and worked until you retired. None of that works anymore. The old university is dead. The new one is a lifelong journey. In that journey, the goal isn't going to be how to compete with AI. These machines will learn at exponential speed. They won't get tired and they won't forget things. Instead, we have to focus on mastering the skills that AI won't have, that AI can't have. In that world dominated by artificial intelligence, your reinvention plan is like a house built on 4 human intelligence pillars. Pillar number 1, physical intelligence. Skills that require physical expertise, presence, and intuition in the messy real-world environments. Think like trade skills, emergency response, live performance, field engineering, areas where physical adaptability will be more desirable than automation. Second pillar, strategic intelligence. There are 2 parts in there. First, judgment under unpredictable situations, and second, your ability to manage and direct teams of humans and AI agents all together in the near future. This is how you'll achieve 1000x returns on your efforts. Third pillar, emotional intelligence, empathy, compassion, servant leadership, collaboration, giving more than receiving. These abilities will help you build trust, inspire teams, and form human connections, things AI cannot feel or fake. And number 4, and perhaps the most important pillar, spiritual intelligence. The Sanskrit word that comes to mind is samatva. Samatva means evenness of mind in the face of life's dualities, pleasure and pain, success and failure. In the era of AI, it means staying steady through the wild swings of markets, news, technology, public opinion. Because AI may one day produce 1,000 Einstein, but it will never produce a single Buddha. If you like this video, please subscribe. Also, check out my video where I unpack the high-income skills of successful leaders. Stay hopeful about the future. I'll see you next week. Thank you. And I love.